Hi, it's Ellen Violette here, and I want to talk about some of the secrets that I share with my clients on how to write a bestseller. And these are secrets that I've been teaching people since 2004 in my workshop, the 3 Days to eBook Cash authoring workshop, and also in the home study version. And I realize that there are a few things that authors don't do right, or that they do in a way that makes it harder to be successful than if they did it a different way. And so that's why I wanted to share these. Hi Lori. Hi Patrick. So today I want to talk about finding a topic that you're passionate about. So I've been doing this since 2004, and I've had periods in my career where I loved what I was doing. I've had periods where I didn't love what I was doing, and where I had a lot of resistance. And I realized that when that was happening, it was because I was doing what other people were telling me I needed to do in order to make money, and I wasn't really following my passion. And that's not to say that, your passion is always going to make you money, but what I am saying is that if you don't have the passion, it's really hard to stay motivated to go through everything that you go through. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. Everything that you go through as an entrepreneur. So I believe that you really do need to have passion, even if your passion is just to make a lot of money. If that's enough passion for you, great. That's not enough passion for me. Okay, I reached a point where it's like, okay, well, is that all there is? Great, I'm making money, but I'm not happy. So I think finding your passion is really, really important. And then the next thing is your skill set, because you have to start from where you are. Okay, you have to start from where you are. When I first got on the internet, I was not, I became known as the ebook coach, but that wasn't where I started, because when I got on, I didn't even know about ebooks. What I knew was how to write copy. Right, Lori said she needs a mission to be happy. Yeah, the skills that I had were I had been a copy editor for trade magazines and a layout person. And I'd been a writer all my life. So I started out writing, and what I did was I wrote websites, I did brochures, I did whatever I could do to write to make a living while I was still learning about the internet and looking for my passion, basically trying to figure out, okay, what do I really love about this? And what I found was that I really loved internet marketing, but at that point, there were so many of these big guys who had already established themselves, and I thought, well, this is ridiculous. I can't be a guru at this. There was just too much competition. And really, when I got on the internet, what I wanted to do was write books myself. And so I started looking for a coach when I was writing my first book, and there weren't any. I found ebooks, and I got really excited. I thought, this is great, because I'd been in the music business where you were totally dependent in those days on other people giving you a shot. And so I wanted to write books and get online and do my own marketing and get directly to my audience. I thought that was like the most fabulous thing ever. And so that's what I did. But I went looking for an ebook coach, and there weren't any. And in those days, people saw books and ebooks as being two different things. Now they're not. It's like you write one book, you put it in two different formats, or even three. You can do audiobooks or hardcover. So that's what I did. So I looked for a coach, and there weren't any. And I got a regular coach, and what ended up happening is that it was hard. He didn't have a system. It was expensive. I'd make the mistakes, and then he'd tell me what I did wrong. And I thought I could do this better. And so I did, and I went and I studied how to be a coach, and I put together my first program, and I just started, and that's how I became known as the ebook coach. But now we've gone over to Books, Business, and Abundance, because, as I said, books and ebooks are really the same. But I do love ebooks and books, and that was my skill set. So I started from where I was, and then as I added skills and I saw where there was a need, then I went in and started doing that, and I became known in that field. And I was actually the very first one in that field. So the other thing that I want to say about that, though, is, when you do find something you're passionate about, you don't have to know everything about it to get started. So when I first started, what I did was I actually wrote a book, and it wasn't even a completely new book of my own. I actually took a book from my coach at the time and thought there were some things I could do better with it, and I did that. I asked his permission. I asked him if he wanted to be a co-writer. He didn't, so I got that all for myself, but I did offer that. And then I created a 2-part teleseminar in those days. Today it would be probably a webinar, 2-part webinar, and each one was 90 minutes each. And I gave away the ebook, and from there I got people into this call, and from there I got them into my workshop, and from there I got them into my from my writing workshop and then my marketing workshop. And the truth is, I only had 2 people in that first workshop, and I was devastated at the time, but it was good because there were a lot of things I still needed to learn. So that's what I'm saying, is you don't have to know everything, just do what you know. And then people wanted me to put together a marketing program, and you can hear my husband in the back, and you can hear his fork going. Sorry about that. And anyway, and so I didn't know everything that I felt I needed to know in order to do marketing. And what I did was I put together a course, and I understood what I wanted in it. And then the pieces that I didn't know, I went and I got speakers. Oh, hi, Jerry. Jerry's one of my clients. And so I got people, who were experts in the things I was not an expert in. So I had Mari Smith, who did email marketing at that time. I had Paul Colligan, who was doing affiliate marketing at that time, Craig Perrine. So I had some really great people. And then I did the rest of them, but I didn't do everything. And I think one of the really important things that I want to say is you don't have to wait until everything's perfect. Okay, just, figure out a way around it if you don't know certain pieces, but figure out something that you can do that you want something that's different, something that's your own, but also, as I said, you don't have to know everything, and you don't have to have a bunch of degrees. A lot of times when people take my 3 days to ebook cash authoring workshop, they'll say, well, I don't feel like I'm enough of an expert. And I had this woman this one time, she had an MBA, and she didn't think she was enough of an expert. When I started, I didn't have any credentials. I just knew I wanted to write books. There was nobody doing it. I figured out how to do it, and I taught it. So, you can do that. Okay, anybody can do that. But to get back to my original point, the point is that you just, and I remember actually, I had a coach, and I remember him saying to me, because I love to learn, and I was getting on all kinds of free webinars all the time. I still do to this day, not as many as I used to, but I would do that a lot. And he finally said to me, Ellen, you know enough to teach now. And I would say, no, I don't know enough. And he'd say, yes, you do. You just have to be a step ahead of what the people need. And, it's harder now in a sense because, of course, I'd rather go to somebody who's an expert, like in my field. I've been doing this 14 years. I'd rather go to me than somebody who just wrote their first book and says, okay, now I'm an expert. But it doesn't mean that you can't get help or that you can't start. You have to start somewhere. Everybody has to start somewhere. So the bottom line of what I'm saying, though, is that I think you have to start with your passion, your skill set, do what you can do, and from there you start learning what you like, what you don't like, and then from there you'll start seeing topics that you could write books on, and then you'll be motivated to write it. Now, as an aside to that, the first book that I wrote was called The Moving Cure: How to Organize Your Move to Save Time, Money, and Your Sanity, and I did that before I got on the internet, actually, as a coach. And that was my first book. And we had been buying, fixing, and selling houses. And so I was kind of, told, okay, we'll do that. Write about that because you're really good at it. You've been moving a lot, because we were moving every 6 months, fixing these houses. And so I did that. And you know what? About 3/4 of the way through, I wanted to give up. I absolutely was so bored and hating it. And the only reason I didn't give up was because at that point, I already knew I wanted to be the ebook coach. And how was I going to be the ebook coach if I couldn't even finish my first book? So that was my motivation to finish it. But in general, I just don't recommend doing things that you are not passionate about and don't have the skill set to start, and then go from there and look to find, whatever it is you're really passionate about, if it's not the thing that you have the passion and skills for right now. And go from there, and then start writing your books and building your business on that. And so, anyway, as I said, Jerry was one of the people that came to me who's done really great, and her book really helped her do that. She became a #1 best-selling author and got 230,000 Twitter followers because somebody loved the book so much. So, books open doors to incredible opportunities that you don't know, but you have to start somewhere. So again, my advice is start with what you're passionate about. If you don't have something that you're skilled at, that you want to do, just do what you can do while you try to figure out what that is. So that's my advice. And if you'd like to learn more, I'm going to be sharing some of my other secrets this week. And so stay tuned for those. And then I'm giving a free training Saturday at 11 a.m. And that's on how to easily write a bestseller in 3 days or less, even if you hate to write, don't know how to write, or have never written. And you can join us by registering at www.3dayebookcash.com/class, CLASS, and I'll put that in the comments as well. But anyway, thanks for joining me for today. Tomorrow I'm going to share another one of my secrets that has made a huge difference for a lot of people and has really helped them to get over the procrastination and the overwhelm. So I hope you'll join me for that, and stay tuned. And I don't want to say the time because it can get kind of crazy around here, and sometimes I have to move it around, but I'm pretty sure it'll be late morning, early afternoon. And so I'll see you then. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.